In this video, we will examine in depth the current state of the economies of the United States and China. But first, we'll take a look back at the history of the monetary system of the United States. After the nation's founding, the Coinage Act of 1792 established the dollar as a basic unit of currency. According to the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, no state in the Union should make anything but gold and silver coin a legal tender. Under the Act, dollar coins were to contain 24.1 grams of pure silver, and $10 eagle coins were to contain 16 grams of pure gold. This gave a 15-to-1 silver to gold ratio, which was updated in 1834 to 16-to-1. From 1873 to 1900, the nation slowly switched to a gold-only backed currency. Toward the end of World War II, the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944 tied world nations' exchange rates to the US dollar, making it the world's reserve currency. Fast forward to 1971, President Richard Nixon ends the redeemability of US Federal Reserve notes for gold.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
The U.S. was then officially on a fiat money system, dragging the rest of the world with it. And this year, the GDP of the People's Republic of China measured $98.5 billion US dollars. Starting in 1978, economic reforms in China created a more capitalist-style market, spurring incredible GDP growth, reaching $488 billion in US dollars by 1992. In contrast, US GDP in 1992 was roughly 13 times that of China's GDP. From 1978 to 2010, the Chinese economy grew an average of 9.5% each year. This closed the gap in ratio to US GDP, which was now only 2.5 times that of China's. At this rate, China is set to overtake the United States economy by 2025, 2018, how about 2012? All Americans should know about the ever-disappearing manufacturing base of the U.S. So-called free trade agreements, NAFTA and GATT, are now blamed for the great loss of jobs in the United States. In the first 30 months of NAFTA, the U.S. went from a $3 billion trade surplus to Mexico to a $23.3 billion trade deficit. From 2002 to 2006, the United States lost 1.4 million manufacturing jobs, while China gained 10.1 million. For better perspective, China's population in 2000 was 1,265,000,000, whereas the U.S. had 281,422,000 people. This makes their population 4.5 times that of the U.S., but they are gaining nearly 10 times as many manufacturing jobs as we are losing. Additionally, China is almost the biggest holder of U.S. debt, second only to the Federal Reserve. China is estimated to hold over $1 trillion of our debt as of February 2011. This definitely does not sound like a good trend for the United States, but what does China think about it?
为什么强大的国家都会走向灭亡呢？古希腊、罗马帝国、不列颠帝国、美国，因为美国政府企图以庞大的开支和税收来摆脱严重的经济衰退，巨额的所谓刺激开支、庞大的医疗改革、政府接管私有企业，债务累累。 当然，我们是他们的大债主。现在他们都得给我们干活。
Is this our fate? Are the Chinese smarter or more hardworking than Americans? Or do such things as excessive business regulations in the U.S. have something to do with this trend? A study submitted September 2009 by Varshney and Associates, written by two PhD professors of CSU Sacramento, states that the total cost of regulation to the state of California is $492.994 billion. Perhaps less regulations would have helped to gain more tax revenue for that 2010 budget deficit of $19 billion. Eh, Arnie? A significant chunk of California's business regulations are emissions-related. Last year, Californians voted down Prop 23, which would have taken away some effectiveness of 2006's AB 32, the Global Warming Solutions Act of 2006. Give me a break. It's normal for temperatures to vary. There's no great global warming to be worried about. What we should be worried about in the U.S. is not having enough energy